I mean, I've been reading about you and I knew your name before this interview. I mean, that is an amazing career. That is like, oh my God, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. You're the Lord of Chords, the Master of Melody, 4,000 songs. You've won everything that there is to win. I mean, you started when you were 4 years old. So you've probably never done anything different. I mean, this is your whole life, really.
Yeah, I think because I guess my father and mother both sang on stage. My father still is a great singer. My mother passed away about 8 years back. So, but yes, I saw them singing, and I thought music was just something which I was born with. Perhaps I think it's a state of mind. Music, singing is just a profession, but as a musician, it's a different mindset altogether. So I think I was born with it, and I'm really thankful to God. The life has been beautiful. I've been very fortunate.
Do you think that you would have made it if it hadn't been for your parents? Do you think is it a born thing to sing like you can, or can you learn it?
I guess even that you have to be born with that particular expertise, whether you're a runner or whether you are an actor or a singer or a writer. You have to be born with that talent, and of course, you need to hone it. So if you don't have the raw material, you cannot create anything out of it. So you have to have that raw material. And I think, as I said, music is an outcome of my state of mind. There are other things that I know I can do. I do so easily that others don't do. So perhaps I was born for it. And yes, I still work hard for it.
I believe you do. Who did you look up to when you were starting? Who was the person that gave you the most motivation? Was it your parents, or was it maybe somebody totally different?
Obviously, my parents, because they sang and they saw me so keen into music and want my desire to perform on stage. They never forced me to come on stage. It was my desire to be on stage, and I was, of course, inspired by them. They didn't push me that much because they didn't have to. They didn't have to tell me to practice or to. I was just always singing, always trying to play the harmonium. Harmonium is like an Indian Asian piano. It's like an accordion, but it's not vertical. It's horizontal accordion. So yes, I used to keep playing the table like this. So I used to keep doing that. So they saw me always interested in music. They also saw me always good in studies. I never gave them any opportunity to complain because I was equally very good in studies and in sports and everything. So they never really had to push me. And I was introduced to great singers like Mohammad Rafi Sahab, Kishore Kumar ji, Lata Mangeshkar ji, Asha Bhosle. You might not have heard their names, but these are the great icons of Indian music industry from the past. So yes, I have been inspired by a lot of them, many singers, even singers from the West. So yeah, there are a lot of teachers that I have to thank.
Who would be the singers from the West? Who would you say helped you get where you are?
When I was in my teenagers, that's when I got introduced to George Michael. Of course, Michael Jackson was everybody's. Yeah, that's when I started listening to his songs, and I used to love. When your voice is kind of changing from a boy to a man, that's when if you get other influences in your tone, it really helps you. So, and then obviously Michael Bolton, George Benson, Frank Sinatra, Luther Vandross. I used to listen to all their songs, and I used to, kind of imitate or try to get the tone, because music is a very, very wide subject. There's no end to it. So I listen to a lot of Indian classical music also. I used to also listen to sometimes whatever. See, at that time, the world was not as easily available as it is today. So we had to buy cassettes, or we had to borrow cassettes from our friends. And not everybody had access to all kinds of music like we have everything. Click of a button, you can listen to opera, you can listen to Luciano Pavarotti, you can listen to Andre Bocelli, you can listen to rap, the best rap singers. So everything is accessible. You can listen to Spanish music, you can listen to African music, traditional African music, modern African music. So everything is available today. But at that time, we had to collect. So we that's how, thankfully I was keen person. There are so many different kind of genres in Indian music itself. There is bhajan, which is devotional music. There is qawwali, which is again devotional music with a beat and high octave. Then there are ghazals. Ghazals is something which you don't have any parallel reference point that I can give. Ghazals is great poetry, great singing, but very subtle with a lot of mature singing, controlled singing. Then film music is very diverse too. There is a lot of fun music, dance music, romantic songs, and various, all singers have their own styles. So it was a huge. I loved studying, and I still keep studying music, and I enjoy it. I don't have to. I mean, it's just something which I like to, listen to people, praise them. I don't. I assess them. I don't really judge people. I feel you can learn from every music, every singer, every musician.
I mean, you've wrote so many songs. Where do you find the time to write like 4,000 songs? It's like, I mean, that is amazing.
No. So, Rob, I have not written all those songs. I have sung those songs. Okay. So we have composers who compose and lyrics writers who write those songs. I have also written and composed songs. One of my movies called Jal was nominated in the shortlist of Oscars in 2014. So I composed song for that film, Jal, and some other films, Super Super, and my albums. I have sung around 6,000 songs as of now because I keep a record of all my songs. I have registers, so around 5,000 to 6,000 songs. I have a
can you remember the lyrics every time? Do you just read them through once? Do you have like a photographic memory?
No. In fact, it's very interesting. I just recently realized that in the last 30 years of singing in studios, I never have really asked them make me listen to the song. I have always been so sure that I can sing anything. So I remember just about last week, I was just realizing that I've never really asked composers to send me the songs, let me assess the scale, or whether it's my type or not. We have just been trained in such a way that I used to go to the studio. I would ask them for the lyrics. I would write down my lyrics. They'll play the song once. I would listen to it twice, and the song is there in my head. I would come back, go to the microphone, come back in 20 minutes, then go to some other studio, do 8 songs like this, then go to another studio, do 4 more like this. So at an average, sometimes I would do around 12 to 13 songs a day. The first 15 years of my career in Mumbai, which used to be called Bombay earlier, 15 years of my career have been like a machine. I was like a robot.
Yes.
Just completely a singing machine. And yeah, there are other singers also who have done that, but I've done it for a very long time. So I'm still doing it.
Do you have the feeling that you missed out as a 19-year-old doing things like normal 19-year-olds do?
Not really. I came to Bombay when I was 18, and I was already singing on stage from 1977 when I was 4 years old.
Yes.
So I did have to miss sometimes Sunday movies because we used to have programs. We used to call them programs at that point, concerts in Delhi. And we were not really, we were middle class people, so we needed that money also. And I understood that. I never asked my parents, should I not be singing or should not be doing concerts? I wanted to sing on stage. I started doing it, and then it just felt right to miss out on movies and televisions, and it just felt right. I felt that I'm a part of the team. My father and mother and me, the 3 of us are earning. The 3 of us are making money. I acted in films also when I was a kid. So I had a hardworking childhood. And when I came to Bombay to become a singer at the age of 18, the complete focus was to make something out of myself. And I started, I did not make friends. I didn't have time to party. I didn't have time to, spend time with with friends and going around, and no girlfriends, nothing. So I was completely focused. In fact, I never uh, we never went to discotheques because I never drank. And without drinking, you don't really. I used to find everything very fun because of people going
Yeah.
crazy dancing, and so it was a very focused, disciplined youth. And
So why didn't you drink? Because of the job, or you just don't like the taste of alcohol?
the thing is, um, the kind of music I do needs a lot of discipline, and you cannot sing this way if you're drunk
That's
or if
what.
you're
Yes.
smoking. You
Yeah.
cannot sing like this. So it's not like I don't. We do party now at a very later stage in my life. I do party, but the kind of music I'm into, you cannot indulge at all. You cannot.
Hmm.
Like I've heard people taking, a joint before going on stage, or probably I've heard about all that. I can't do it because I can't. People take a drink or two before going on stage. A lot of people do that, but perhaps their music is a little straight and straight and straight. For me, it's about 3 to 4 hours of running around, dancing, and then singing impeccably. And once people start looking up to you, you have to live up to their expectations. You cannot.
Yes.
You better live up to the expectations. So you cannot let
Is
them feel that, oh my God, this guy is famous, and why I don't know why is he
Yeah.
respected so much? Look at the way he's singing. So you cannot
Yeah.
let that happen to you.
That must be a lot of pressure as well, because exactly that was going to be my next question. I mean, people look
Yeah.
up to you. You're an idol for very many people. That is something really nice, and you can change something in the world with with the way you talk to people and present yourself. But is the pressure enormous?
Uh, yes, it is obviously, but uh, instead of getting intimidated by it, one can strike the right balance. So the first 15 years of my career in Bombay, I worked like a machine, and then I decided that I need to really live my life too. So I announced like a semi-retirement. Not that I wanted to retire, but I started keeping a little check on what I'm singing and with whom am I working. Is it really giving me is it fulfilling enough for me? And then I started like I would go for earlier I would go for concerts from the airport to the hotel to the concert to the hotel to the airport, the next place. And this is what my cycle was. But then I decided to stay, spend a couple of days, look around, enjoy America, enjoy Australia. There are so many beautiful places in India. There's so many mountains and so many beaches and so many temples. So I started doing that. So I decided to strike the right balance,
Mm-hmm.
and at the same time, I took care that the quality of my work is doesn't come down. So it is obviously a responsibility, but not nothing that I'm really scared of or not. I don't really complain that much. God has given me so much. This is what I came for, right? And after achieving all of this, if I start complaining, then I'm a thankless human being, and I'm not.
Okay. Can you go out of the house without being mobbed?
No, I can't.
No.
No, I can't.
Is it okay, or is that? Do you wear like dark glasses and a big hat and disappear under a trench coat?
No, usually because of the pandemic, the mask when you tie the mask, and if you're wearing a cap, then it's just this
It's just
thing visible. So but it doesn't really help because people know you that much, and people know the eyes. Yes, exactly. People know the eyes. But generally, if you are not really completely without a cap or without a mask, then it's difficult to walk, obviously. But I don't wear. If you wear dark glasses, you all the more you know you're pointing the finger towards yourself. You all the more
Yeah.
uh, kind of standing out from the rest. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
it simple. I just wear a cap probably.
Okay. You've made it internationally, which is something not everyone manages to do. How was it like when you started doing international stuff, and it kind of went up, and the whole world knows you? What was that like? Was that wow, or did you expect it?
No, no, it's, I don't, I came to Bombay like very ambitious, but I'm no longer ambitious. I'm no longer that aggressive Sonu. That Sonu died a long time back. So for me, it's one day at a time. There is no goal, there's no aim, there's nothing that I wish I can achieve it. It's not like that. I don't live my life like that. That's why I lead a very happy and peaceful life, a satisfied life. So yes, because of my work, because of the more I got popular, I started traveling all over the world. And, thankfully, uh, from 1994, when I started extensively traveling everywhere. The first time I went abroad was 1993. So, but from 94 onwards, extensively, I started traveling a lot. Yes, I've been very fortunate. Our shows have received enormous love. Like I was in UK last month, United Kingdoms. I did a concert in Birmingham, and then I did a concert in O2, in Wembley, in London.
In London, yeah.
Um, so yeah, it was all full house, and the kind of love and affection that we were receiving. Of course, I put up a very, very different kind of a concert, and as you know, you have to raise the bar every time, because you cannot just keep them fixed to. You cannot just what you call go easy on yourself. You have to work hard, and so we created something very different this time. Yes, and
so how would be a concert in Birmingham or London be different to a concert in Delhi?
So since I am quite fortunate that I've been able to master a lot of forms of music, so there is a lot of different things that I can do. So what I did this time was two of my teachers, gurus, I would say, my inspirations, Mohammad Rafi and Kishore Kumar, and both have completely different styles of singing. This one is this way and the other one is that way. I put all, both of their songs. Oh my God, sorry, sir. This stand goes down. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So I put both their songs and I put my song too. So it was Rafi, Kishore, and me. So people were shocked to see the diversity in the show. It was not just my songs. It was Mohammad Rafi songs also and Kishore Kumar songs also. So the spectrum became very big, and it was something people had never expected. So that became beautiful. And in the course of your career, you get to know people. Then I've done some collaborations with multiple artists from some artists from the West. I've done a song with Britney Spears. Obviously, it's not on that level, but they wanted to do something with India, so they contacted me. I've done a film song with Kylie, in 2010, I think, probably. Yeah. And then I've done a beautiful song with Michael Jackson's brother, Jermaine Jackson. When Michael died, Jermaine heard the song. I had written that song myself. I'd composed and written that song, and he met me. He came to see my show in Los Angeles, and when he met me, invited me, and I made him hear the song. He had tears in his eyes. So he said, "Tell me, what can I do for you?" I said, "Sing with me." So he sang the song with me, and that song is called "This Is It." You can see we sang the song together on IFA Awards in Toronto in 2012. Yeah. So interesting things have happened. I've just done a song about a year and a half back. No, 2 years now. It's going to be 2 years. Natalia Les, she's a Polish actress and singer, and the song surprisingly did very well in India too. It's an English song called "Fire in the Sky." So I didn't expect, because in India, the film music and private music is so big that you don't really expect me doing an English song and doing well in India. So it relatively did very well. I'm very happy about that. I'm just about to release a song called Ave, the famous Ave Maria. This is the first time I'm telling anybody. Nobody knows about it. I've just shot that song in UK, and we have just done the Budapest Art Orchestra has played on it 2 days back, and we are mixing that song, and I'm coming out with this Latin song called Ave Maria in about 10 days, I think. I wanted to bring it on Christmas, but I'm getting a little late. But yeah, that's also something very, very different. And you let me know when you listen to it. How do you like it?
I will
It's my
do.
interpretation.
So how does all this then happen? I mean, you're naming people here like Britney Spears, like Jermaine Jackson. I mean, you've worked with Avicii, with Kashmir. How does that all come together? Are you the guy that says hello, or do they come to you, or is it management, label? How does that work?
They've come to me. I've never approached anyone. Avicii was working something out for his song. What is that song?
Levels.
levels, right? So he was doing levels with different artists of different countries. So they approached me. Universal India approached me. We did that song with Avicii. Kashmir came to my house. His grandfather, who passed away, grandfather was a huge fan of mine. So one day I got a call that Kashmir. I had not heard of Kashmir honestly because I'm not into that kind of music.
Electronic,
But
yeah.
yeah, but I know he was. I got to know that I didn't know Avicii also, but later I got to know that they were so big and they were like icons for electronic music listeners. So Kashmir came to my farmhouse with his grandfather. This was in 2014 or 15, I think, yeah. And then his grandfather met me and he was very happy to meet me. And then Kashmir said, let's do a song together. He made a beautiful song and we did that song. Uh, it didn't do that well in India, but I do keep receiving royalties from Kashmir for that song. So it's done decently abroad, probably. India is not the market for. They want Sonu Nigam to be Sonu Nigam. They don't want Sonu Nigam to do. They don't really care if I do a song with an international artist. They just want me all for themselves. So, but yeah, I love
Amazing.
collaborating with people. It's good to work with different artists, amalgamation of different music, different minds, different thought processes. It just works beautifully.
So is there anything that you haven't done? Is there anything you want to happen? Is there anything you say where you say that would be the absolute icing on the cake?
Rob, as I said earlier, I don't live my life like that because I know I'm going to die someday. It could be tomorrow, it could be tonight itself. So I don't lead my life like that. I just let time take its own course. I just let the universe decide what's good for me because I have understood life is a beautiful experience if you do not expect too much from it. If you just go with the flow, if you go with the flow, if you just take it easy, if you enjoy every moment of it, instead of planning ahead, I'd rather enjoy my present. And I'm very okay with this thing. And what if there is something else that's coming to me in the future? Bring it on. I'll
Bring
be
it
very
on.
happy. Why not?
How has the whole scene, music scene, not only in India but in the world, changed? I mean, you've been doing it for the last 40 years. How has it all changed? Has it changed for the better or has it changed for the worse?
There are good and bad. There are pros and cons of every in every situation, in every environment, in every period of time. Earlier, it was difficult to make a mark as a singer in India unless you get an opportunity to sing for a film, for movies, because as you know very well, in India, music is consumed via films, via cinema, and unlike those days, today you can be famous just by your own. If you have an interesting song, and if you're fortunate enough, you have enough. If your song is, if your song stands out, you don't need a film to be famous. You can just have your own audience. You can have your own followers. You can keep making your own music, release it your own way. You have various applications. You have YouTube. You have streaming apps, and all. You can make money. You can do your own concerts. It was not like that 30 years back when I came to Bombay. You had to stand outside the offices of music composers and kind of request them to listen to your voice and give you what you're right. So it was a little difficult in those days. Also, because there was no digital technology and it was all analog, you didn't have the um, luxury to pitch correct your voices, to correct you edit your rendition of a voice. You had to practice hard. You had to be in the right pitch. You couldn't have become a singer without really being a singer. Today you can become a singer without really being a singer. So as I said, there are pros and cons in every, but
Yeah.
the beauty is that I have enjoyed that phase also when we were in a studio and there used to be 150 musicians and all of us singing and playing live in sync. So if a flautist goofs up, you have to do the entire song again. If I goof up and everybody else has played well, if I goof up, we have to do the entire song again. So I've seen that period also. And I've seen a period where I've recorded my song in my own bedroom. I'm my own engineer. I'm fixing my own microphone. There is nobody to assist me. I'm recording my song, and the music composer is on a Zoom call, or on like we are talking right now, and he's in India, I'm in America, or I'm in Dubai. So the beauty is I'm enjoying this time also. So uh, yes, I'm a witness to a lot of changes in music technology, in the music business, and I've enjoyed all.
Did you really mess up big time? Can you remember one film or one song where you really made a mess of it?
If I had made a mess of it, they would have never released it.
Okay.
So I've never made a mess of it because yeah. Oh my God, this stand. Because
No
I'm on the
problem. It's
phone, so
live.
this is a bit. So yeah. Sometimes you come across a song which you're not connected with, because I cannot I can't say that out of all the 6,000 songs I've sung, I've loved all of them. Sometimes you sing the song for the sake of singing. There's some really ordinary songs, but you don't want to hurt the sentiments of the composer or the director of the film, or some people who have requested you to sing a song. So there have been some songs which I really I'm not so proud of, or I've just sung it for the sake of it. But usually, as a singer, it's different to be a singer in India than it's in America or any other place,
Mm-hmm.
or in Europe or wherever. Over here, as I said, the consumption of music is through film, so there are many, many more songs that you get to see, because there are so many films that are made. There are so many regional music that I've done. I've done so many different, because in India you have a film industry in every language. You have a Hindi film industry, you have a Marathi film industry, you have the Gujarati film industry, you have Kannada film industry, Tamil film industry, Malayalam film industry, Telugu film industry, Odia film industry. Not just film, it films and music industry. So I have sung in 32 languages. I just counted a couple of days back. I've sung in
God.
32 languages, and I have a proof of it.
Are the languages similar, or are they totally
No,
different?
no way. Oh my God, they're worlds apart sometimes.
So where did you learn? How did
Absolutely.
you learn that?
I didn't have to learn it. I just copy. When somebody tells me how to, somebody teaches me a song, I write it down my way. I understand the accents and I write it down in my own script, and then I learn the nuances and the pronunciation, and of course the tune is in my head already, and I
Yeah.
ask the meaning of it, because I don't want to sing a sad song in a happy way, or vice versa. So I have to ask so I have to ask the meaning of the song.
Yeah.
So these are things, but because I've done so much, it's now come to autopilot. It's become autopilot. It's not that difficult at all. Of course, you can't always say that I'm a pro in everything, but yes, it's not as difficult as it seems now to others who haven't seen me doing it.
Can you remember what the first thing was that you bought when you started earning good money? What was the first thing you said, that's what I want? Was it a Rolex? Was it a shiny new car? Was it a holiday, a five-star hotel? Can you remember?
Yeah, initial days, but for first 4 5 years, we just wanted to save money. So of course, me and my father, even till today, we are Indian. Indian families are very closely knit together. I'm all the more. So I'm one of those people who wants to give his father all the right and everything. So my father controls and manages all my finances and everything. So initially, we kept it very like strict, and we never spent money that much. We bought what was essential for us. Most important was house. We had to buy comfortable homes for, so we invested money in getting good space, because me and my sisters and my father and my mother, we all lived together. So for that was the first thing. And secondly, I remember once I was, and that was 1997, I think. Yeah, yeah. So I was passing through a car store, and I saw swanky sports car. It was a Toyota Serra. Yeah, it's discontinued now. Very open. It used to open like a Lamborghini. So I saw
Okay.
that car, and that guy knew me. because I was famous already. He said, "Sir, if you want to take this car, you can show it to your parents if you want to." So I said, I called up my father and mother. I said, "I'm coming. Stand on the window." They saw me coming in this car. I said, "Can I buy it?" He said, "Oh, what's the price?" And I said, "This is the price." My father said, "Okay, buy it." So that
Oh,
was I
great.
remember. So I bought it.
Oh, God. Did he drive it, or did you say, no, 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 it's my car?
No, no, no. We don't we're not like that. Of course,
Okay.
everybody could drive it. Yeah.
What advice would you give to the young guys out there, or maybe young girls as well, that are watching this interview and are really proud of what you've achieved? What is, you know, how would you tell them to become you?
Nobody should become me. Nobody should become me. I didn't become anyone. I got inspired by people. I respected the voices I was listening to, whether my seniors or my juniors or my contemporaries. I always respected them, and I carved a niche of. I carved a Sonu of my own, uh, a career of my own, a personality of my own. So I'm individual. I'm distinct, and so is everyone else. I don't believe in advising anyone because I don't know. I don't think anybody takes any advice. Very few people take an advice seriously. All I can say is everybody has their own journey. Just keep an eye on what life is teaching you. That's what I do, and I've done in the past also. Because the real story is something else. What you see and what you perceive as life is different, but the real thing that's happening inside us is different. And if you can get a hint of these two lives that you one that you are seeing, one you're perceiving, and one what's the reality. For instance, I would you call me success? Would I call myself successful make if I become the richest singer in the entire world, and I'm not a happy man? If I haven't lived my life in a happy zone or in feeling fulfilled, would I call myself successful? Depends on me. You see, I could probably choose to go for that kind of success where I want to be the biggest and the richest and the most famous and everybody, and sacrificing on my own happiness. That's my choice. It's my choice. And whether I could choose to be happy. I could just choose to be happy and be someone who's fulfilled when he's dying. So it all depends from person to person. So keep an eye on your life and choose what you want to do wisely.
I mean, that's one of the things we're trying to do at the Global Icon, is to bring people together, to build the bridges, to get people who are songwriters, who are singers, who are producers. It's quite a good thing we're doing. What's your opinion on the music industry today? Is it important that we do things like the Global Icon to get people together?
Absolutely. In fact, if I can be of any assistance to you, please let me know. I'll be very happy to be of any service to you. Let me know.
Would really appreciate that. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to talk to you, and I think you are really true and honest. You love life, you love your job, and I mean, you've worked so hard for it. I mean, at the beginning of the interview, you were saying you worked every single day, and I mean, reading the awards that you win, it's like every year you win something. I mean, it's just an amazing journey, and I mean, well done from the heart.
I don't think I did anything. I'm just very fortunate. I'm only keep an eye on my work and my life, and rest everything I get is a surprise from the universe.
Last question. Did you get to meet Britney Spears?
I never met her. When I was on Twitter, she was following me. And then I quit Twitter because I felt Twitter was not Twitter, it was gutter. So I realized I don't want to be in the gutter.
Oh,
So
so
I
you
quit it.
mean it was too controlled, Twitter? It was too regulated?
Twitter, the thing is, I lead a very happy, hassle-free life. And I think to give such a huge chunk of your life and your thoughts and your opinion to people who don't really care, who don't really have the wisdom to understand your journey or your thought process. And I feel I'm too precious to be on a platform which is so vicious and so poisonous and so judgmental and so brutal. So that's why I quit Twitter in 2017. So before that, of course, she was following me. That was sweet of her. but I never met her. Maybe someday. The thing is, I don't even get to meet my own co-artist in India. Like I met a friend of mine who's a singer called Papon yesterday over here in my hotel, and we realized, although we are in touch on phone and on social media, whatever, I didn't meet him for 5 years. 5 years back, I met him. So it was like we couldn't imagine that we are staying so close to each other, and we are in the same profession, but we haven't met for 5 years. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Okay, because there was an incoming call, some random people calling me.
I know. Yeah. Good. Well, as I said, thank you very much. And, the Global Icon, we're happy to have you there. And let's work together. Let's build the bridges. Let's bring everyone together around the world. And let's make the biggest song that we can find, the biggest production. And let's get everyone together.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's the part of it that I like about it. So
Lovely.
thank you very
Looking
much.
forward.
You too.
Lots of love, Rob.